I'm Director at Large of the EFA, and today we are here with Shelley Young. She is the former Assistant Principal Flute of the ESO and teacher extraordinaire. Hello, Shelley. How are you today?
I'm fine, just fine.
Excellent.
I think I can answer all your questions.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your flute journey.
Oh, it's been a very, very long journey, that's for sure. From junior high school, I played clarinet. Senior high school, I switched to flute because there were three of us vying for principal clarinet, and he had to split us all up. So I thought the flute was pretty. Our band had just gotten one. I grew up in Ponoka School Band.
Oh, wow.
And that was the end of that. I suddenly became a flute player. In high school, I took grade 7 flute exam and grade 7 clarinet exam, and the same examiner, and he said, you should choose an instrument. I suggest you choose the clarinet because you're a little bit better on that. So of course, being me, I chose the flute. Damn it, that's what I wanted to play. So I went off to Indiana a few years later, which is one of probably the biggest music school in the States, and that's where I learned to practice. And where I had some great teaching, and that's where I learned everything I know, essentially, and have built on that since then.
So what kinds of things did you learn to practice, and how did you learn? Like, what was your routine?
Oh, well, that's a long time ago. I decided, well, if I was working on a real job, I'd be working 8 hours a day. So I think I'm going to try to do 8 hours of flute a day. Well, that was a bit ridiculous. And I figured that out pretty soon. I mean, I had personal stuff and classes I had to go to. So I decided, okay, I'm going to strive to do 6 hours a day, which again, I jump in with both feet. And that was a little ridiculous. I don't think I ever got to 6 hours a day, but I always, the first couple of years, always got to 4 hours a day.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty ridiculous, really. I would admit that now. And of course, it doesn't matter how long you practice. It's the quality of your practice.
The quality, right.
You have to practice slowly until you can play it.
Right.
You can't really, in order for something to sound easy when you play it, it has to actually be easy. That means over and over again, and technique. And I would divide up my practicing into 3 sections. The first one, of course, is long tones and scales, technique. And depending on what I needed, I'd spend more time doing that. At first, I had to really work on my sound and technique, of course. And then, so you do your sound technique, then you do your etudes, which again is more technique. And you think about, along with the sound, is breathing exercises, because that's very important on the flute. Repertoire came last. For the first couple of years, I was walking around listening to the other flute players down there, and I thought, whoa, they are really good.
Oh, man.
Then I got going into my 6 hours, and I caught up. The first year I was there were 5 orchestras and 4 bands there, and I was in I was in the second last band. The next year I was in the 4th orchestra, and then the next year I was in the best orchestra. So it was, only proves that hard work can work.
And what about your teaching? When did you become a teacher of the flute? And what kinds of things do you teach your students for?
Oh, yay. I love teaching. And there was a time before I got into the orchestra, I had 35 students. I think I said that already. And you get to the point sometime with someone you've had since junior high school, and they're in high school, or they're about to go into high school, and they'll be playing in their lesson. And all of a sudden you think, she's got it. And it almost brings a tear to your eye, because you think, yes, I've enjoyed this. And so, and you meet them when they're little. I had a mother of a student say, she doesn't like classical music. She'd rather play pop. So if you can just ease her into that gently, or maybe just do pop. And then I said, okay, I'll try. And then I forgot who she was, whose mother she was. And years later, the same mother who I'd forgotten, I didn't know who she was, came up to me and said, do you remember me the very first time you took my daughter as a student? And I said, oh, that was you. I'm sorry, I did do that. I treat them the same. You learn this, you have to learn how to practice. Practice slowly. You have to have, nothing. I don't know if I'm beginning to repeat myself. Nothing is easy.
Right.
And if you don't understand something, you're not going to play it very well.
Right. Right.
You need to
And then you were my teacher for a little while there, and there was a set of scales that you had us do. Can you go into like what the scales are and how to play them and why you do that and what it's good for?
It's the language. It's a language of music.
Mm.
And if you practice your scales, you learn how to tongue, you learn how to breathe, your fingers. We're flute players. We have to go fast. If you're reading every note, you haven't practiced your scales. Because if you can think in a scale pattern and go straight up, you can do it as fast as you have to do it for the orchestra or the band. But yeah, I can't. Was it Taffanel and Gobert that I was telling you to do, or was it my own exercises?
Your own exercises.
With the 8 slurring.
That's it. Yeah. 8 different types of slurs. Yeah.
Chromatic scales.
Yeah. And it really helps to do that. Oh, and also the chromatics. You were asking to do the chromatics. I still do those every single day. Going up 1 and then down 2 and then up to the next one. Yeah.
Good.
Really helpful. What are your favorite pieces to play, or your favorite type of music to play?
That's sort of changed over the years, but it used to be, if I'm sort of out of shape and I want to get back into it, I read through all the Bach sonatas. What's better than Bach? It's low notes, and if you got good low notes, you're going to have good high notes. It's, it's complex, but it's beautiful. It makes you think, so nice, so beautiful. I love this. And then as I got a little bit better and rowdier, I wanted to practice faster things. So I would do, if I felt like, why am I a musician? I would always play the CPE Bach D minor concerto, because it's fun. It's fun. It's classical as opposed to Baroque, so it goes high and fast, and I just love it. So that's what I would play when I needed to reacquaint myself with being a musician and having fun playing the flute.
Cool. What about a different genre? Have you ever gone into jazz or blues?
Yes.
Because you seem like a bluesy kind of jazzy, you really do,
I have no talent. Yes. Okay, I wasn't going to confess this, but I confess last year or 2 years ago, I was a rock band. I played in a rock band.
Nice.
A seniors rock band.
Wait, good for you. Good for you.
We played, it was a friend who said, well, we need a flute player for this, because they were playing Jethro Tull, right?
Yes.
And
Shelley Young.
Well, I know a flute player. And the guitar player knew me too through my son. Anyway, so they asked me to play some Jethro Tull concerts with them, just one piece in each concert. And I had so much fun. COVID came along, and the last concert, I thought I was doing really well, but the band wasn't doing very well. So we had mixed feelings about it, and I was so happy that I hadn't just made a total fool of myself. But it's fun. I loved it. I loved it very much.
Cool. Do you have any tips or tricks that you're willing to share, that you or any quotes or things that a mentor has told you in the past, or a teacher has told you in the past?
There are so many tricks that I pull from so many things. Yeah, there's different things.
And what's one, for example, if you have a breathy sound? What's kind of a trick for that, or even for higher notes? What's a tip for playing higher notes, or
sounds like a lesson here. If you have a breathy sound, if you think of turning your lips, these are your lips, turn them inside out a little bit, so the air is passing over the soft part of your lips, the upper lip. And you got to pout a bit with your lower lip, and just try to get you don't want the more you purse your lips, the more fuzz you're going to get in your sound. Just try it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
You flute and see how it works, and it's something that you can't really see visually, but you can feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And to get the higher notes, it's air direction, right?
Okay. Right.
So you aim higher and think. What I tell little kids is to say, okay, do you think the flute is a warm air instrument or a cold air instrument? What do you think?
I think it's warm air.
Yeah, everybody thinks. No, it isn't. Make a warm air on your hand. Now make a cold air. That's the flute. So when you go up higher, turn off my phone.
Totally cool.
You
That's
think, faster air and cold air. I know
Awesome.
flute is a warm instrument, but you gotta use your cold air.
Brilliant. Okay. And now for our last question. Tell us one thing that not many people know about you.
Well, they didn't know I played in a rock band, did they?
There you go.
I'm now studying the guitar, classical guitar. And I love it. I love it so much. I play for hours and hours. My hands are cramping up. It's terrible what I'm doing. But I hear myself saying what my students say. Oh, I can play it so better when you're not here. But I got it at home.
This is the thing, right?
It's been a humbling experience. The instrument is very difficult, if I do say so myself, but it's such a beautiful sound.
Well done. Okay, well, next time maybe we'll have you play a little bit of guitar.
You know what? No, because the guitar is mine. It's all mine. I'm not going to be out in front of a bunch of people unless I get really good at it, but I don't think that's going to happen because, I don't have enough time. It's for pleasure, and it's your soulful. Keeping my brain alive. If up is down, down is up. It's all backwards. It's you've got 10 fingers and they go in different directions. On the flute, you put a finger down, the note goes lower, and the opposite is also true. Not like that. It's been really hard. Awesome. Really hard. But fun, and it's kept me alive during COVID. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh, no kidding. These times, I hope they're over. Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully soon. Yeah, no kidding. It's so true. What was I going to say? I don't think I have anything else to. No. You know what I would do every summer? I would buy myself after, when I was in school, buy myself a new technique book every summer. So I have every technique book that Moise ever wrote. And, wow. And some of them are formidable, some are insane, but you just go through it. And you learn what you can't do, and you learn what you don't want to do, but you do it anyway. And it's fun. I might do that. That's a great idea. This technique, and always remember, your metronome is your friend, and so is your pencil. Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Shelley. We will see you soon. Yes.